years as well, so he's no stranger to this time of year, and it's easy, guys, to get wrapped up in the job that Adam Wainwright, a 20-game winner, did during the regular season. But don't overlook Lance Lynn, who won 15 games for the second straight year. But look at the ERA, career best 2.74.
Well, I like how he competes. He's going to keep them in the game every game. And the thing I like about Lance Lynn as well, Tom, is you throw the numbers out, because he's going to pitch according to the ball game. He's going to battle, and they're going to be in this thing when he's on the mound.
Now we got two fiery pitchers going tonight. Now Lynn maybe not as demonstrative as Jake Peavy, who is, but he definitely pitches with an edge. Really lives on the fastball. You'll see almost 80% fastballs in this game. Now that's not just four-seamers, combination of two-seamers and four-seamers. But the challenge fastball upstairs, that's his money pitch, his go-to pitch when he's in trouble.
When it happens, the opening pitch will be brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Here's to Budweiser. Here's to baseball. What kind of a night? It's actually warmer here tonight in Game 2. 62 degrees, light rain, little mist has been falling throughout really the entire afternoon. But all in all, for the 12th of October, not a bad night. And with Gregor Blanco walking to the plate, we'll remind you, for coverage of this game in Spanish, please tune to Fox Deportes. Lance Lynn was a workhorse during the regular season and was effective. 3 runs or fewer in 29 of his team-high 33 starts. 27-year-old right-hander with his team down 1-0, dealing with Blanco to start his night. And we're glad you're with us on Fox Sports 1. Strike one.
A lot like what we saw last night with Madison Bumgarner. Here it is. Hit it. You're going to get the same thing from Lance Lynn. He's going to challenge. He'll be coming at you all night long.
That drives Blanco off the plate. A ball and a strike. Rookie Panic will follow, then Buster Posey. For a travel day tomorrow, as Blanco hits it off the very end of the bat for strike 2.
That's a good indication of the different fastballs you'll see from Lance Lynn. Two-seamer running away from Blanco right here. Saw the four-seamer at 93. Look at that late action running away.
Two and two.
That's a good sign for the Giants, because as I said, that's the money pitch for Lance Lynn. Top deck upstairs with 2 strikes. The Giants have to stay off that pitch, stay disciplined. They can get the ball in the zone.
He held up, and it's a full count.
I was with you on the he. Because that was a tough one to read right there. He went a long ways. Could have gone either way with this call.
Greg Gibson said no swing, so a 3-2 count on Blanco leading off. And he flies one into center. Jay back to get it. One away. Well, you know Gibson's at third. Bill Welke is behind the plate tonight. Jerry Davis is the crew chief. He's at first. He'll get the plate in Game 3, which is a daytime game on Tuesday in San Francisco. Then Mark Carlson at second. Bill Miller is down the left field line, and Phil Cuzzi in right. Paul Emmel is working the replays back in New York, and then he will join the active crew for Game 3. Phil Cuzzi will head to New York. With one out, here's Panic. Ball 1. Joe last night had a hit in 5 trips. Two and 0.
You know, speaking with Buster Posey before the game, he felt like Panic was a big part of his turnaround in the last month and a half, because he was placed in the 2 slot ahead of him and started swinging the bat quite well, and it gave Buster opportunities with a runner on, and they challenged him a little bit more.
Buster Posey He's about the most humble, soft-spoken superstar this game has seen in a long time. 2-1.
I think he'd rather go to the dentist than talk about himself. We tried to get him to talk about himself and didn't get a whole lot. Great talking about teammates.
Poked and prodded at him big time trying to get him to talk about himself. Just wouldn't do it.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Late swing, strike 2.
You see Lance Lynn really working both sides of the plate. You know, we talked about that last night with Bumgarner. Here it is again, Tom. You talked about that two-seamer that runs from the lefty. Same ball that we just saw Blanco foul off, and then he came back and flew out to center field with. So he's moving in and out.
Another late swing.
Yeah, but you can see why he's such a good two-strike hitter, Joe. I mean, he's just letting that ball travel, making sure he's not out in front of an off-speed pitch. He's almost going to hit this one out of Yadi's glove. That 289 batting average with 2 strikes, that's more than 100 points higher than what the average major leaguer hits with 2 strikes.
Off the hands. Bat stays intact, and the at-bat continues.
I thought that was a great pitch. I'm thinking now's the time to come back in on him, and they did. I mean, this is a tribute to Panic fouling this ball off, but this is a great location. Look at that ball run, and he's able to fight it off.
Another 2-2. Hard hit, base hit. Past the diving Kolten Wong and into right. And Panic has his second hit of this series. He's on for Posey.
So that's what the great hitters do. They foul pitches off until you make a mistake. Look, you hit mistakes with 2 strikes. You fight till you get a pitch to hit. He got a pitch, he hammered it into right. It's beautiful at bat.
It'll bring in Buster Posey, who has hit in 7 straight postseason games.
Is it just me, Joe, or the Cardinals? They wore different colors. This is a bright white uniform.
Well, yeah, yesterday was kind of that off-white, that
that dingy
yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say dingy? I think they have a better name for those unis.
I'm sorry, but it seemed a little dingy to me.
Here's Posey, strike 1.
A little problem with the detergent.
Something. He's down to get some Tide.
Molina caught that foul tip off the bat of Posey somewhere where he was not protected. Posey says, I know how it feels. Looked like it got him in the foot. Right off the edge of the left shoe.
Ouch. These guys take a beating. I don't know how they do it.
That's why it's even that much more impressive that Posey hit over 350 in the second half at the back end of a long year behind the plate. Although he did get some work at first base with Brandon Belt going through the injuries that he suffered this year.
Well, Joe, I think Buster Posey uses his lower half better than any hitter in the big leagues. As a catcher, sometimes he doesn't have his legs underneath him. They had that 18-inning game, but in the postseason, you get these extra days off.
That's a strike. It's 1-2.
He was telling us he feels good, and I think the break in between the division series and the LCS is enough to refresh his legs.
You see Mike Matheny right there giving the signs. He'll control the running game. Step over, quick tempo, slide step, all those different things. And he'll allow the pitcher and Yadi Molina to make their own decisions as well. But that's why you see all the signs being flashed from him.
The interesting part of it is Matheny's a 4-time Gold Glove Award winner as a catcher. And he was the mentor to Yadier Molina when both were players for the Cardinals. Matheny's last year here was in 2004 before he went to the Giants.
Tell you what, the pitch before, when Yadi picked that short hop on the backhand, he was ready to go to first base. That's why he shuts down the running game. That extra step you can't take.
That's into right center field. Well hit. Back is checked. Back is Grichuk. And it's Grichuk with a sliding catch. 2 out. And the rookie just came up with a brilliant grab here in the first inning.
I love the communication between these guys. We saw it in the Dodgers series where the center fielder is going to take the back route and let the corner outfielder take the inside route. The communication here. But we talked about Gritchett. If you haven't seen him or been watching him, he's basically a center fielder playing right. You hear that term all the time. What's that mean? Well, it's a guy that's got great range, and he happens to be playing in the corner. It's a terrific play.
Last night almost came up with a ball hit by this man, Pablo Sandoval, into right. Got it in the glove and then lost it going to the ground, and that started a 2-run inning. Here's a tailing pitch for a strike to start the at-bat with Sandoval.
Joe, when you gave that weather report to me, this is a night a pitcher and Charles Dickens would love. This is London, 1850, with all the mist. You can't even see the arch. Heavy air. I don't expect the ball will carry.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And I think that's another reason you challenge. Lance Lynn's basically sitting back challenging. Buster Posey crushed that ball. Very similar to what we saw last night with Matt Holliday. So when you get this kind of air, you're in California, you say it's a marine air that's sitting on the ballpark. Challenge.
Strike 2. On deck is Penn. Sandoval had a 14-game hitting streak in the postseason. Snap in Game 4, the clincher against the Nationals in the division series. And then he came right back with a 3-hit game in Game 1. Center, Jay, plenty of room. This inning belongs to Lynn and Gritchett, who last night could not hang on. And a ball hit by Sandoval led to a 2-run frame. Tonight, Game 2, 1 on, 1 out. He robs Buster Posey of an extra base hit, maybe even an RBI. And after a half in Game 2, no score. Cleanup hitter with Peralta back a spot. Yadier Molina still hitting 6th, and Kolten Wong, Randall Gritchett batting 8th. He's already made his impact with a sliding catch in right, and Lance Lynn pitching and batting 9th. Against the right-hander Jake Peavy, who was very good in Game 1 of the division series. Got a win over the Nats, and a strike is into Matt Carpenter.
Well, that's what you're going to see from Peavy on the corners, hard sinkers down the way. He'll move it in and out, but mainly wants to get that ground ball, more so than the power guy when he first got to the big leagues doing 95.
That's a strike, and it's 0-2. Peavy, the animated right-hander. He's 33 years old. He broke into the big leagues in 2002. Managed then by Bruce Bochy when Bruce was the manager of the San Diego Padres. And for a while, this guy was as good a right-hander as the game had. It's a long time ago now, and for a guy that was traded midway through last year from the White Sox to Boston, he was traded midway through this year from the Red Sox to the Giants, and then he really took off.
What a year he's had. He had one stretch where he went 109 days between wins. Now he hasn't lost a game in 48 days. Big turnaround.
That's foul.
That's the first ball we've seen Matt Carpenter pull down the line in a week. You know, yeah, you saw left center field, right center field home runs, but this is a pitch that everybody's been trying to get in on it. And for him, that's a great at bat. He's shown now. Don't bring that in here. I'll turn on that pitch.
Peavy was 1-9 with Boston. Finished the year 6-4 with San Francisco. That's outside. 2-2. A good ERA of 2.17.
I like the fact that the Giants went out and saw him, didn't worry about numbers, felt like the ball was coming out of his hand. He was executing his pitches, just wasn't getting breaks. That's why they made the trade.
It is finally healthy again. That is over but low and a full count.
Well, when you face Jake Peavy, it's a test of your discipline at the plate. He likes to get hitters out just off the edges of the plate. Matt Carpenter, one of the most disciplined hitters, not just from the Cardinals, but in the league.
Struck him out. And that was not the old grooved 3-2 fastball.
No, you saw him shake fastball to go to the cutter. See the hand finger just a little bit to the side of the ball. The late run gets in on Carpenter. Great pitch choice, even better execution.
And he really hadn't shown that pitch. You know, the ball he got in on Carpenter with and he pulled foul was a straight, hard, four-seam fastball. So to come back with the cutter, very impressive.
Here's John Jay. Had a good night last night. 2 hits against Madison Bumgarner. He ended the night 2 for 2. Ball 1 outside. Usually the adjective crafty is given to a left-handed pitcher, but Peavy now is in the category of a crafty right-hander who will work hard and try and outthink who's ever standing at home plate trying to get a hit.
Yeah, and I like what Bruce Bochy said when he had him in San Diego. You would not have said that. When he got in trouble, his idea of getting out was to throw harder. And now, as you said, when he is in trouble, locate better.
The 2-0. There's a strike.
I think the one thing you have to do when you face veteran pitchers, you've grown up watching them, you're used to seeing them throw 95, 96, and you have that in your head as a hitter. You have to realize when you get in the game, the stuff is not the same.
That is hammered into right. Pence on the run, and what a catch by Hunter Pence. Grichuk makes a play in right center with a man on in the top half, and Hunter Pence got a great jump and took at least a double away from John Jay.
Well, you're absolutely right. And knowing where he's at on the field, not worried about the fence or anything else like that, we've seen Hunter sacrifice his body. But, man, did he go a long way to get that ball.
That glove was just big enough to haul that one in. And there's the ace from last night.
Now with 2 out, nobody on. Here's Matt Holliday. 2 good plays in right here in the first inning. That's down and away, ball 1. Holliday 4 out of 19 this postseason, 0 for 4 last night. The home run was a big one, though. That came in game 1 of the division series. That drove home the eventual game winners against the Dodgers. That's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, speaking with Matt before the Dodgers series and asked him about the second half, he said, I was letting the ball get back too far on me. I had to start going out to go get it, and that's why he's able to turn the second half of the season around.
That's to the left of Crawford. One of the best in the game. Brandon Crawford to his left. And the defense backs up Jake Peavy here in the first. It was Pence, then Crawford after 1 in game 2. No score. Here's Hunter Pence. He made that good play in right. 0 for 3 last night. 6 hits this postseason. Takes a strike. Had a feature before the game with the signs that pop up around the ballpark when Hunter Pence is there. Just gets it off the hands, fouls it away, strike 2, and it's something that Pence basically started on his own social media, and it has its origins in a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, he was at lunch in New York and Instagrammed a picture, and that's how it started.
Here's the 0-2.
Call those capris or Bermuda pants for a baseball player that he wears. The socks go above the knee. Whereas Hunter's got a reason for everything he does. And he slides on his knees and he thinks with all the scabs on his knees he's better off with the socks up over the knee.
It's up and away, 1-2.
Yeah, he started having his pants pulled down there. And because of the strawberries that stick to your pants as you pull that up, the scab, he said, forget it, I'm done pulling the scabs off.
That's outside, 2-2.
Now, I always wonder, why does he wear only one batting glove? And of course, he had a reason for that. He said when he was a kid back then, you could buy a single batting glove. Now they sell them in pairs. One glove was $5, the pair was $20. Easy decision. He hasn't changed since.
Here's a 2-2. Chopped to short. Peralta. One down. More on Hunter Pence, down to Danny Rosenthal.
Well, Joe, there is a reason why Pence looks so awkward when he's throwing, and it's because of his body structure. He told us yesterday that he has Scheuermann's disease. That's a spinal disorder that he likely developed as an adolescent. It affects his vertebrae. It can make a person look round-shouldered, and it leaves Pence with no flexibility in his mid-spine. Now, obviously, he's quite functional. Since 2008, only Robinson Cano and Adrian Gonzalez have appeared in more games.
Yeah, it's something that they didn't find out, and Pence wasn't even aware of until last September. He signed that contract extension, went through the extensive physical, and they found it.
I thought that was fascinating because it's not really a disease. It's more of a condition. It's called a Scheuermann's disease, but it's typically diagnosed in adolescents at the end of their growth spurt. And obviously, he was never diagnosed until, as you said, Joe, signing that $90 million contract extension, they found out. Interesting, Boston Bruins hockey player Milan Lucic also diagnosed with the same condition. And he's kind of known as the Hunter Pence of hockey. Not known as a smooth skater, but effective.
Good player in the NHL, and Pence has been nothing but good and nothing but dependable in the big leagues, whether it's been with Houston, Philly, or now San Francisco. I mean, he's 162 games again this year.
That stunted his growth. We've been watching him in the NBA. This guy's 6'5", about 230.
2-2 on Belt.
He's a big dude, man. When you stand next to Hunter Pence, you know it too. It's like, my goodness, I can't believe how big this guy is. Joe, you were saying he looks like an NFL player.
He does. He tapped out to short. And now Belt waits for a 2-2. Full count.
Power versus power. Here it is. I'm coming at you again. When he got in this situation before, he went to the two-seamer that ran from the lefties. We'll see if he does that here with Brandon Belt.
That's off the hands. Foul ball. Carpenter gives it a look, but it's out of his reach.
Now, Harold, I know you talked to Hunter about his consistency and his numbers being so consistent. He sort of disagreed with you, but check this out. Consecutive years hitting home runs in the 20s. More than 20, but less than 30. We got two of them right here in the game today. Hunter Pence and Matt Holliday. Only Cal Ripken with more such seasons. That is consistent.
All three involved in this postseason. The guy on top of the list is broadcasting for TBS.
Yes.
3-2. That's a one-out walk.
Guys, we're already picking up on the theme we saw last night when Adam Wainwright threw 27 pitches on 2 strike counts and got 1 swing and miss. The foul ball by Belt buys him another pitch, stays off it inside. The Giants have struck out only 10 times in their last 3 postseason games. And guys, I think that's what makes them such a tough out in the postseason in this day and age. And every year we get a record number of strikeouts.
Here's Brandon Crawford, who is 6 for 26 this postseason. That's foul. Oh! I know that Andrelton Simmons of the Atlanta Braves is regarded as the best defensive shortstop in the National League. He has the ability to make the flashy play that just you can't believe. But as far as consistent ball within range, make the play, make the throw, Brandon Crawford is right there with Simmons in my mind.
I agree. I think when they brought him up, they said he has the best hands in our system.
Strike 2.
Just watching him take ground balls is something that you have to witness on a daily basis. I'm not talking about just in the game, but look at him go get this ball, set up, make the throw, the calculation of who's running, all those things come into play. I've always enjoyed watching him. He's got the cannon, he catches everything, makes the play.
Reaching for it, Carpenter will get the lead man barely. Wide throw, but Wong able to keep his foot on the bag. 2 out.
Well, that's one of those tough plays because it's such a topper to Carpenter. He might have to go one, but I think out of the peripheral vision right here, you're going to see him take a peek and say, I got to play. He's thinking two the whole way. Wong, you anticipate a bad throw, you make sure you get the out. See how Wong sets himself up and just get the out. Would you have liked to got two? I don't know if they turned two anyway in this play, so fortunate to get the one anyway.
The inning continues for Ishikawa. Last year it was Carpenter at second base. Now Matt's back at his usual third base position. Wong is the shortstop. Carpenter said he's not the biggest target to throw to, but physically Kolten Wong can do things. This is Carpenter talking that I could never do. And he showed some of the agility on that play. Strike one on Ishikawa. Long road travel for Travis. As part of the championship with the Giants in 2010, he's been with 4 other teams. And back around after starting this season in Pittsburgh. Now the left fielder jammed, strike 2. Jammed again. This one is it playable into the dugout. Still 0-2 on Ishikawa.
You know, you look at the pitch count for Lance Lynn getting up there, 41 pitches already. But how many breaking balls has he thrown? It is just, here it is, hit it. And so there's a different type of tax on your body than throwing a lot of breaking balls. He's just coming after you.
The tax also involves the number of foul balls by the Giants hitters.
Too far outside, ball 1.
Tom, I thought it was a great point you made about the fact that they don't strike out. 10 strikeouts in the postseason. When you're putting the ball in play that much, it just puts so much pressure on the other team.
10 strikeouts, 10 walks in the last 3 games coming into tonight.
A 1-2. Hard hit right at Adams. Inning over. We will see Matt Adams in the bottom of this second. Game 2. Giants up 1-0. That's his biggest swing in his life. The game winner, game 4 against the 33-year-old right-hander. He had a very efficient 14-pitch first inning. And he misses inside to Matt Adams with ball 1. Postseason numbers 3 out of 16. Adams in the cleanup spot tonight. Peavy goes right back to that same spot, 2-0.
I think the one thing that has helped Jake Peavy, obviously coming to the National League when you have another hitter, you're eliminating the DH. But it made him more aggressive. You see that already tonight.
On the outside part, 2-1.
The American League, a lot of changeups, a lot of off-speed, nibbling on the corners. Found himself in bad counts. It looks like he's a lot more aggressive. He's going to move the ball in and out like he's doing tonight. But it's more with the fastball. Pitching off his fastball again.
2-2.
The difference I see late in the season with Jake, I've always thought of him as a slider pitcher. I still think it's his best pitch. But now it's the sinker-cutter combination. You're seeing that more in the game. The slider typically 82, 83. And early on, you're seeing more cutters. And that's the way he's been pitching deep into the season here. It's been a terrific combination for him on both sides of the plate.
Shift on defensively for Adams as they plan to pull. Second baseman panicking shallow right as Adams takes outside a full count.
Backdoor the cutter right there.
So there you go. That's how far away they are from their positions as Adams fouls one left side. It will drop untouched.
I always found it interesting how you have the third baseman playing in the shortstop position. For that ball right there, if you have a shortstop that runs a little bit better, not on that ball in particular, but a ball that stays in, he's going to get to it before the third baseman is. I don't care if it's Sandoval or whoever you got at third base. Your shortstop's obviously going to be a little more fleet of foot.
3-2 pitch. Another foul. Ripped into right. Back is Pence. And about a step in front of the track. Calls it in, one away. How about Jake Peavy and where he's been? He was a celebrated right-hander with the San Diego Padres between 2002 and 2009. Then he was with the White Sox. Traded there, a big deal. Never worked out really for the White Sox. Traded to Boston, middle of 13. Traded to the Giants, middle of 14. And on July 26th, that deal was made. About a week prior to that deal, with the Cardinals really struggling with their rotation. Jake Peavy thought he was heading to St. Louis. And now here he is back in St. Louis, as he was last year with the Red Sox during the World Series, but pitching for the Giants. Here's a 1-0 to Peralta. Strike one.
Yeah, that worked okay in Boston for him last year, right? The World Championship. And then what did he do? He bought one of those duck boats after the parade, amphibious vehicle. You know where I'm going now. If the Giants should happen to win the World Series.
Is the duck boat going in the pond out there?
Not the duck boat. Preferred mode of transportation in San Francisco. Cable car.
With one out, nobody on. 1-1 is down and away, 2-1.
Okay. Look at him talking to himself, man. Come on, Jake.
Two-1. 3 balls and a strike. Talked to Buster Posey about that stuff. And if any hitters ever get bothered by Jake Peavy yelling at himself, as it turns out on the mound, some young hitters think he's yelling at them. Here's a 3-1. A 1-out walk. Here are the reactions. He's not understated.
He's into it, no doubt.
And here's tonight.
It's fun to watch. Often referring to himself in the third person, by the way, when he's yelling to himself on the mound.
Cardinals have their first base runner of the night. Here's Molina. They have another base runner. Base hit left field. And it's 2 on, 1 out.
I was going to say, guys, a lot of attention we're giving Jake Peavy right now, but the Cardinals are putting together some good at-bats. They may not have the results yet. Here's the first one, really, where you're going to get the base hit and you see it on a cutter. But they're processing the information. Adams deep in the count. Carpenter deep in the count. We watched Holiday hit a ball up the middle that Crawford made a great play on. They're gathering great information and great data. They're making an attack right now.
With his different look to the lineup, it's Kolten Wong in the number 7 spot with Grichuk, the rookie right-handed hitting outfielder, on deck. Here's Wong. That's up and away, and that's going to get a visit from Buster Posey. The Cardinals now against the Giants, going back to the LCS in 2012 have gone 22 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings against Giants pitching. The Giants came back in 2012 and winning last night behind Bumgarner 3-0.
Well, one of the reasons the Cardinals have had such a tough time scoring runs is their base to base. You know, we're not seeing that now. Kolten Wong may change that dynamic a little bit because he can run. But we're seeing you have to get 2 or 3 hits in an inning to score a run. It's hard to do.
That's a strike, and the count evens. A ball and a strike.
And that was a great layoff by Kolten Wong. This is a double play ball to the shortstop right here. He swings and hits that ball. It's right where PV wants it. You're playing right into his game. That's a ground ball to short.
Ball 2.
Yeah, he's seeing the ball well right now. A few changeups you'll see from Jake Peavy trying to get him to roll over on that. And again, Kolten Wong says no thanks.
Where he's going to have to stay patient, though. He likes to pull the ball. He's going to have to stay patient to get his pitch if he wants to pull one.
Staying away. They count 3-1.
Here's the difference right here between the American League and National League for Jake Peavy. He's got a right-hander in the on-deck circle. He does maybe get a double play ball. He's not going to give in. The American League, you got that DH, that's an extra hitter.
Full count. After Grichuk, it's the pitcher Lance Lynn, who in a series that features 2 pitching staffs that know how to hit. Lance Lynn is not on that list. 4 out of 60 during the regular season.
And Jake's well aware of that. I think the advantage here is his experience. And you understand, Tom, you talked about the bullpen for the Giants. They're all rested. They're ready to go. So he's making sure minimize damage right now early in the game.
2 on, 1 out. 3-2 pitch, runners go. And a fly ball into center will be handled by Blanco, and the runners have to return. That's a big out for Jake Peavy after falling behind Wong 3-1. He came back and got it.
Yeah, Kolten Wong got to a pitch that he could handle, got the cutter in the fat part of the plate, just got under it.
You see, there were so many pitches away. His first approach was to step to shoot a ball left field, and the ball cut back in on him. That's why he wasn't able to get the head out. But how about the Cardinals running right there? A little change of pace, put some pressure on them. We got to create some offense.
Here's Grichuk. Just 3 out of 20 with 8 strikeouts this postseason. 0 for 4 last night. Batting in the number 8 spot.
Situation where you can't get beat on a pitch in the strike zone.
Strike 1.
I say that, of course, because Lance Lynn is sitting in the on-deck circle.
Walk to Peralta, base hit by Yadier Molina. Inning is down to the rookie Grichuk. Ball, 1 strike.
And you know what's interesting too, Joe, about Jake is that he started in the National League. A lot of times it takes pitchers. I remember talking to John Lackey about this. It took a little while to realize, hey, I'm in the American League. I can pitch around guys a little bit. You know, where in the National League, when you come up with that mindset, it's always there. So Jake, to go back, he understands that.
Here's a 1-1. 2-1.
Right now, it's you want Grichuk to swing a bad ball or go after the pitcher with the bases loaded.
I want him to expand a little bit. Don't want to chase a bad pitch. If it's on the edges of the plate, even if it's a ball, take the shot instead of passing the baton to Lance Lynn.
Great point.
Grichuk's got a lot of power. Here he chops one to third. Sandoval's got it, and the inning is over. Peavy into and out of trouble. Gets around a walk and a hit after 2. Game 2, NLCS. Giants are leading this best of 7, 1-0. Jake Peavy first up against Lance Lynn. Strike 1. Lynn gave up a 1-out single in the first inning, a 1-out walk in the second. Peavy got into and out of trouble in the bottom of the second. That's on the outside corner. And the count is 0-2. We're going to visit live with Madison Bumgarner, last night's starter and winner.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Good. The road dominator's on down there. Here's a foul straight back. Our interview with Madison brought to you by DirecTV. And I mean, it's not routine. It's the postseason. But, man, you're good. You're lethal away from San Francisco.
Oh, man.
How do you do it?
You know what? It's just it's funny. It's worked out that way. You know, for whatever reason, we've had a lot of success on the road, you know, the last few times in the postseason. You know, it's tough to explain, but, you know, I'll sure take it.
Yeah, and you get the ball in this game 1. You know, and tonight it's Peavy who just grounded out to short. He knows that if you stumble at all, you've got a good bullpen. We came on the air talking about your guys down in the pen. Your pitching staff, top to bottom, is about as good as there is in the postseason right now.
Absolutely, you know, I agree with that 100%. You know, we're out there and we get in a tough spot. You know, there's no reason for us to give in and try to give somebody something to hit. You know, we know we got guys behind us that can come in and get the job done for us.
Here's Blanco at the plate. Gregor fly to center, his first time, ball 1.
You know, Madison, we're watching Lance Lynn attacking the hitters, and you did that last night as well. Is that part of the mindset in this postseason to be aggressive like that?
Well, you know, I mean, for me, you know, I don't ever go out there with the thought of getting behind in the count. So I'm trying to get ahead. You know, with whatever we're doing, you know, it don't always have to be fastballs, but whatever you're throwing, you want to get ahead and try to make good pitches, and that's really it. You know, just for me, you know, my command's been pretty good this postseason, so we've been able to do that.
Well, Madison, you talked about not giving in. How about Jake Peavy and the way he negotiated through trouble there in the second inning? Yeah,
he's been outstanding for us. You know, since we made the trade for him, and you know, I'm happy to see him back out here pitching well, and I'm glad he's a part of our rotation right now. He's been huge for us.
I know you're a good, honest Southern boy from North Carolina. Tonight's starter, Jake Peavy from Alabama. So if you're a good, honest guy, here's a little flare into right. Here's Wong going back and can't get to it. And Blanco is on with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. I'll get to my question in a moment. You'd like to see Gregor Blanco get hot, Madison, and get something going here at the top of your lineup.
Absolutely, we got to get him going. He's been big for us all year. You know, we all know how good he can play defense, but he can swing the bat a little bit too. And when we have him on the base paths, you know, that's big for us. You know, with his speed and everything.
My question was going to be, did you balk last night? I mean, can you just say it?
You know what? At the time, I really didn't think I did, but I went back and seen it, and you know, I sure enough did. But
okay.
I mean, you know, that's tough. That's tough to see. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's okay to admit it. That's all right.
That's an honest ball player right there.
That's all right.
Yeah. At the time, though, I really didn't think I did. I might have had a problem if they would have called one. But you know, looking back, sure enough, it was you know, there was a little movement with the front leg before I stepped back.
1 on, 1 out. The batter is Panic. How about this kid? I mean, he's come up. Boy, did you need Joe Panic to fill a role both defensively and in your lineup.
We sure did. We needed a second baseman pretty badly there. We have a lot of guys contributing, but not really nobody that you know, just to step up and say this is their job. And we called him up, and he's been unbelievable for us. You know, he's down there and play well. You know, he's been huge for us. We wouldn't be here without him. There's no question about that.
Hey, man, thanks for your time tonight. Congrats on doing it again last night in game 1.
Thanks, guys.
That's Madison Bumgarner. This game 2 goes into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lynn's doing pitcher on pitcher here in the 3rd inning, as it was in the top half to start it. Lance Lynn first up. 4 out of 60 during the regular season. 0 for 2 in the division series start he made out in Los Angeles a week ago last night. Strike 1.
You know, some guys look like they can hit. Lance Lynn looks like he can hit. And then all of a sudden you go, hold on, what were those numbers?
Here's the 0-1. 4 out of 60.
I'm still fascinated by this, guys. In the minor leagues, he got 77 plate appearances. He hit .065. In the major leagues, he's got 206 plate appearances. He's hitting .065. He's an .065 hitter, I think.
He is.
Even though he looks like a .265 hitter.
Here's the 0-2. It's just not that easy to hit, well, really at any level if you're me, but at this level, I mean, look at the run from Jake Peavy. That ball had a little tailing action to it.
Well, right now, some batting well, he collapses his backside and try, it's like, look, just let him swing the bat, maybe he'll catch up to one.
Right.
Oh, well.
So back to the top, and here is Matt Carpenter, who struck out.
And I think now's when it gets interesting for the Cardinals. They've had great at-bats. They've seen a lot of pitches. Let's see if they get something going offensively.
Hit a couple of balls hard, John Jay in the first inning. And then the ball hit by Matt Adams leading off the second. That's a strike.
Again, welcome back to the National League, Jake Peavy, where you start the inning essentially with an automatic out, turned into a 2-out inning. Pitchers against Peavy since the trade, 2 for 20, batting 100. Thanks for the out.
1 out, nobody on, the 0-1. Breaking ball drops low. Cardinals' last 11 runs in that divisional series, and obviously carries through till now, have come on home runs. Something the Cardinals obviously didn't do for Mike Matheny during the regular year, when they hit only 105, the fewest in the National League. Carpenter had 3 of them in the division series, 3 of the 7 the Cardinals hit.
Well, you got to really get into one tonight. We've seen a couple balls hit hard already that just have not carried out of this ballpark.
That is driven into right. Did he get enough? You bet. It's gone. 1-0 St. Louis. Strike 1 to Jay.
Gathering the data. Remember the ball that Carpenter pulled foul down the right field line and said, no, don't come in there again. He was looking for that pitch one more time. That time he didn't miss it.
1-1 on Jay. How about a guy who had 595 bats, Matt Carpenter, during the regular season, hit 8 home runs. He's had 22 at bats in the postseason. He's hit 4. 2-1.
I think, one, he's got a great idea that they're going to attack a little bit more in the postseason, but he's also picking his spots. And he looked like he was in a mode going up there knowing he's going to pitch me in, I'm going to bust one. And he did.
2-2. Peavy gave up only 3 home runs after he joined the Giants on the 26th. The 2-2. Full count. To the right side, Belt flips, 2 out.
Well, there's no question what Jake Peavy wanted to throw. He told Buster Posey, watch this, fastball. Carpenter had his head down at that moment, but it's a fastball that stays up and over the plate. There's some pitchers who like to do that. They'll look at the batter. Kurt Schilling was known for that. Looking away instead of waiting for the sign and shaking through. Tell the catcher what you want to throw. I'm not sure if anybody else picked up on that in the Cardinal dugout. He made it clear he wanted to go with a fastball. Matt Carpenter was ready.
When Carpenter first got a taste of the big leagues, he came up a few years ago, he looked like he was going to be no more than just a gap hitter. He's obviously developed more power, and here he is, not a big guy. I mean, he's a slight guy at the end of a long, grinding season. And he has popped 4 home runs. Every one of them has been big this postseason for St. Louis. The 2 out, here's Holiday. That's in the air to right center. Back is Pence. Inning over. But Matt Carpenter has gone deep. He did it 3 times to the Dodgers. He does it once to the Dodgers' biggest rival, the Giants, Jake Peavy. And with that, after 3 in game 2, 1-0. Cardinals on top. Back to work. He deals a bit high to Buster Posey, followed by Sandoval and Hunter Pence. Posey flied to right. His first time when he was robbed of an extra base hit, maybe an RBI, by Grichuk from the hole. Long throw. Peralta got one away. Travel day tomorrow in this NLCS. Game 3 is a daytime game on Tuesday, as you see there in the middle. But coming up tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on CBS, American League Championship Series, game number 3. The Royals now at home up 2-0 behind Jeremy Guthrie, taking on Wei-Yin Chen. They're the numbers for Chen. They're the numbers for Guthrie. It's TBS tomorrow night, 8 Eastern. Our game on Tuesday, game 3, is on Fox Sports 1 right here at 2:30 Eastern. That's when we hit the air, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. And they will follow up that game on TBS with game number 4 of that ALCS. Here's Sandoval. Took ball 1, now ball 2.
Last night, what Madison Bumgarner did so well was after they scored, he attacked the hitters. Got quick outs and got them back in the dugout. That's what Lance Lynn's trying to do right now.
There's 2-0. Sandoval trying to unload. It's 2-1.
Well, he tried to tie it up, didn't he?
It's a good time to turn it loose.
Yeah.
Again, very unusual to see Sandoval get into a hitter's count. He swung at a higher percentage of pitches than anybody in baseball this year. In the postseason, he's seen the most pitches.
That's outside.
I mean, look at that. And that didn't miss by much.
Well, he's still in that launch mode. He chased the ball 2-0 that he probably shouldn't have swung at. It was away. So that ball's off. He's looking for something in. You look at him get the leg kick, everything spinning in.
He's jammed. Pops it up behind the plate. Molina. 2 down.
God, he's so cool. Isn't he cool? I mean, just smooth, like cool. He's one of those guys as a kid, you go, man, I want to do that. He takes the mask, flips it. It's just style. Now watch him catch it, all right? He's got the gold sign from winning the Gold Gloves, and flip it out. Let me toss it around. I'm Yadi Molina. I mean, how cool is that?
He makes a really tough job in this world look awfully easy.
Man. And he drives a nice car. What's got it going on?
2 out, nobody on. Here's a strike. Yeah, I mean, a 6-time Gold Glove Award winner, and as Chris Carpenter used to call him, he is the left tackle for this pitching staff. He's the guy who protects their blind side. Here's Carpenter. He hits home runs. He makes plays defensively. Pence is out. And here comes Bruce Bochy. Bochy may want to give this another look. As we give it another look, Pence thought he was safe. Looks like he comes up short of the bag right there. Maybe got it with the toes. I think that call will stand.
Yeah, I do too.
In fact, so much so that they're not even going to review it. A 1-2-3 inning for Lance Lynn after the home run by Carpenter. Bottom of the fourth inning, rolls in. Cardinals came with one out last inning. Well, one outside. We had a chance to visit with Mike Matheny on our DirecTV interview. We'll give that to you after Adams does something to begin the fourth. Two and 0. Kolten next, then Yadier Molina. That's ball 3. That's a strike. 3-1.
Looked like a little cut fastball, gets the corner. He's thrown a few changeups, but most of his pitches in the window of 87 and 91 miles an hour.
That's foul. So a full count. The first question when we get to the interview with Mike Matheny was about his starter tonight. Lance Lynn, who has looked good and been in attack mode since the beginning. Adams, a good low ball hitter, waits for a 3-2. He takes a leadoff walk. And our interview with Mike Matheny is brought to you by DirecTV. Here's his answer about his starter, Lance Lynn.
Yeah, all season. He's just kicked into another gear. I think just realizing that he has an opportunity to not just be the young guy anymore, but show some leadership and show some of the experience that he's had in the postseason and help Adam Wainwright lead this club.
Yeah, 4 home runs for Matt Carpenter. When he first came up, he looked like he was going to be a gap guy, more of just a gap guy. He has really developed, and then this October has just been unreal with a home run ball.
Yeah, he's just he's so consistent with his approach, and the gap thing we don't really have a problem with either. He's a guy that's going to put together tough at bats, fight off tough pitches. But I think it is nice to see that when they do make a mistake after he's done working the count pretty deep, he's got the ability to really hurt you if you make a mistake.
You guys might be down 1-0 but I sense some life down in that dugout there tonight.
You know, Joe, we've done a real good job of just letting them go and 1 game at a time, and really even simpler than that, 1 pitch at a time, and really focusing on what we can control. We can't do anything about yesterday. It's gone. Now we got an opportunity to do something special today.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, guys. And
an opportunity here in the 4th inning after a walk and a hit. Adams and Peralta. It brings in Yadier Molina.
And that conversation with Jose Oquendo is not about bunting. It's about making sure you get a pitch that you can drive here. You don't want to bunt. Now you're back in the same scenario that they were in the last time that PV was able to wiggle out as you head to the bottom of the order.
One of the best first ball hitters in all of baseball, Yadier Molina. Base hit his first time up, first pitch. Johnny Peralta, last base hit, first pitch. Against Jake Peavy this year, batters hit .458, almost 500 when they put his first pitch into play.
Shows bunt and takes a ball.
Shocker to me.
And now Molina stares intently down at Jose Oquendo, Cardinals third base coach. Let's move the defense. They're in on the corners now for the Giants. And the bunt is a good one. Out at first, and the runners advance to second and third on a bunt by Yadier Molina.
Well, if there was a conversation, the conversation was real simple. Make sure the third baseman fields it. When you have this situation, first and second, and you got a force, you make him have to come get it. And that's what Yadi did. He set his angle, bunted it to the third baseman, took his time down to first, did his job.
There's the angle you're talking about. Now, Yadier Molina, since he came back from that torn thumb ligament, has not hit for power. He's still one of your better RBI guys. And you see now the intentional walk to Wong, which means now you just bunted up for your 8 and 9 hitters.
Which is what caught you, Harold, by surprise. It did me, and I'm assuming you, Tom, that they bunt with Molina with the rookie Wong on deck. They're going to walk Kolten Wong, and it's up to Randall Grichuk with the bases loaded, 1 out.
I mean, this is playing into, to repeat myself, what he did a couple innings ago, where he's able to wiggle out. You're looking for the opportunity to get that double play ball that might get you out of it. It also shows a lot of confidence in Randall Grichuk. You got to understand they're going to go ahead and bunt and intentionally walk and force the bases loaded.
That for Yadier Molina was his first career sacrifice bunt in the postseason. And it sets it up after the walk for Randall Grichuk.
He runs pretty good. The only thing I can think of is that the Cardinals have not scored runs. They're going to try to force it. See what they can do. Bit of a surprise play, but here we go.
Strike 1. Let's just say this. There was nobody in the Giants dugout, especially their manager, Bruce Bochy, who was heartbroken to see Yadier Molina drop down a bunt.
Not at all.
It's Grichuk against Jake Peavy with the bases loaded, 1 out. Lynn, the pitcher, on deck. Strike 2, good rip, but now Grichuk in the hole.
And again, I think the fact that Lynn is not a threat as a hitter is part of the calculus in bunting. He chose to have Grichuk take the one at bat to score the run rather than have Molina and Wong swing the bat.
He missed his pitch right there, too.
Peavy wants a strikeout. He has struck out 2. Everybody moves up 90 feet. It's 2-0.
Tell you what, great confidence in the rookie to come through. Let's take a look at how he did this. Let's go by pitch. He gets a check swing. Now you find yourself 0-1. Lays off a pitch. Right here, he misses the ball. I thought, oh my goodness, he had an opportunity. He gets a hanging breaker ball, hammers it into left field. And that's how they score the run. I thought Peavy might come back with another sinker, looking to get the double play ball. He got him a breaking pitch. That's the one ball you can get in the air. So that would be the mistake they made here. And we got Righetti at the mound.
So he goes out to talk while Javier Lopez, the left-hander, gets loose. It's a 2-0 game here in the 4th inning, and now the bases are loaded for Lance Lynn.
I've been wondering where that slider is. The slider he'll throw in the low 80s. It's been cutter. Really hasn't thrown the slider the last 2 starts. Went to it there, and as you said, Harold, left it up in the zone.
I mean, he's been down in the zone with so many of his cutters and the hard sinker. You just think he would stay with that to get the double play ball.
So if you question the approach by Mike Matheny and leaving it in the lap of the rookie Grichuk, he got the hit from Grichuk. Now it's bases loaded, 1 out for Lance Lynn. You don't see the squeeze often with the bases loaded. They are pulled in the corners of the infield for the Giants.
You're right, Joe, and sometimes it's the safety squeeze or whatever. You know, you got the difference with the bunt now. You have a force at home plate, but because Lynn swings and misses so much, you may force some action.
One ball, 1 strike. The lead runner is Peralta at third. We'll keep an eye on him as Lance Lynn climbs back into the box. On deck is the red-hot Matt Carpenter.
Well, I'll be honest with you here. A strikeout is not a bad result for St. Louis. Don't want a ground ball double play with Matt Carpenter on deck.
Ball 2. Carpenter being on deck is why Javier Lopez is up in the San Francisco bullpen. We're only in the 4th inning, but Lopez is getting ready for Carpenter. Two and two.
No, that's a great point, Joe. And with the bullpen being rested and Bochy's playing that bullpen game, and Tom, you said that before the game started, we were going to see a bullpen game from the Giants. You're absolutely right. I mean, Carpenter's got the home run. He's had good at-bats off of Peavy. You would think they want that matchup if they're able to get this out right here.
Will come up ready to throw. Peralta tags, and they will hold the runner at third.
Yeah, as soon as that ball went in the air, you're thinking, no way with Carpenter coming to the plate. And here's a reason why. So smart. We talked about the at-bats early. First inning, this is the ball he pulled foul. And after he was able to show, hey, don't come in there again. Everything's been away. He's looking for a ball in to ambush, and if you come back in again, he got it. And that was the home run ball. And now he's going to have an opportunity to face Peavy with the bases loaded. And I thought for sure Lopez would be coming in right here to go get Carpenter.
Well, I mean, the game could be on the line right now. And Bruce Bochy told us prior to game 1, I'll go to Javier Lopez in a key spot against a left-hander no matter what inning it is. Lopez is ready. He's left in the bullpen. And it's Carpenter against Peavy for the 3rd time. Ball 1 outside.
It does make you wonder why he was up if you don't use him in this spot. Because now you'd be bringing him into a game with 2 outs, runners moving on a hit to the outfield. A 4-0 game rather than a higher leverage spot.
And you got 2 lefties. Let's just say he happens to walk Carpenter. You got another left-hander to face. I don't.
A roll of the dice by Matheny in this inning with a bunt from Molina. And a roll of the dice by Bochy in this inning, leaving Peavy in with Matt Carpenter at the plate with the bases loaded.
That's why you love it, though, Joe. The second guessing. The managers always know their players and personnel better than we do. And they have an answer for it all. And it actually is logical when you talk to them.
Well, Carpenter will make Peavy come into the strike zone. One of the most selective hitters in the game. Got under it, pops it up. Into center field. Out is Crawford, in Blanco. And the Cardinals lead the bases loaded. And the roll of the dice by each manager pays off. Matheny got the hit from Grichuk. Bochy stayed with Peavy. He gets out of the inning, allowing only 1 run. 2-0 after 4 in game 6. In the end, been a pretty well pitched, certainly well defensed game. Better tonight for St. Louis than in game 1. They made a couple of misplays that certainly hurt their cause. Here's Brandon Belt. First pitch is a strike, and we're underway in the 5th inning. Belt, then Crawford, then Ishikawa. Strike 2.
I really like how Lance Lynn is just coming after guys. He's basically using 2 pitches. The 4-seam fastball and the 2-seamer right there that's running away from the lefties. That's it.
That just missed, ball 1. Mike Matheny will tell you Lance Lynn has really grown up. his demeanor on the mound and not letting calls or plays that have gone against him have a snowball effect as he gives up a leadoff base hit to Belt to start this fifth. That's been part of the maturation process. And here he is leading 2-0 with his team down 1-0, giving up the hit.
And here we go again. 2 games here in the NLCS. Cardinal pitchers have thrown 71 pitches with 2 strikes and gotten 2 swings and misses. I'm not counting the swing through bunt by Madison Bumgarner. I mean, this is just terrific hitting. Even when they're making outs, the Giants are making the Cardinal pitchers work.
You got Crawford digging in, Ishikawa on deck, and then the pitcher's spot. And with that, there's action for the Giants in their bullpen. Ball 1.
I would think that if you want to hit and run or anything like that, you do it against Lance Lynn because he's around the plate and he's so aggressive. So as a hitter, you know you're going to get something hard to hit. It's going to be either a cutter, I mean a 2-seamer or a fastball, but you're going to have something coming hard. You're not worried about that off-speed pitch.
Crawford pops it up, got under it. Kolten Wong is there. 1 on, 1 out. Postseason continues. We're traveling tomorrow, and then on Tuesday, 2:30 Eastern, on the air. That is 11:30 West Coast time. Cardinals and Giants game 3 from AT&T Park in a matchup of John Lackey and Tim Hudson, who for the first time in his long, terrific career is past the division series round. Lackey knows how to pitch in the postseason. He's 1-0. He was great in game 3 against the Dodgers division series. Here's Ishikawa. Strike 1. By the way, coverage on Tuesday is on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Peavy next. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, it's real interesting, Tom. As a hitter, and you're seeing Lance Lynn pitch the way he is, really all you're doing now is just separating what side of the plate you're looking for. Am I going to look away, look for the 2-seamer that's going to run, or I want a ball in? And really, that's it. Because you eliminate the breaking pitch. It's not happening.
Strike 2.
It sounds so simple. A guy throwing 80% fastballs. Why don't they time it? Well, as you said, 2 different fastballs. The 2-seamer and the 4-seamer, and he's got that 3/4 release where that, especially that 4-seam fastball, there's not the angle, the downward tilt to it, but instead it just stays on plane and he gets swings and misses at the top of the zone. And once again, Giants in a 2-strike count.
That's into the gap in left center. John Jay on the run. He's got it and lost it. It's out of his glove. It's going to go as a hit and a double. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. And for the 2nd night in a row, a Cardinal outfielder could not maintain the catch going to the ground.
What an effort to get the read of John Jay, the layout. And oh my goodness, it's just rolling around the glove, and then he hits the ground again. It's right there on the end. Couldn't hold on to it.
Here we go again. The ground causes a fumble. Saw it last night with Grichuk in right field. Tonight with Jay in center field. And that's the 4-seam fastball that's designed to get the swing and miss from Lance Lynn up in the zone. Nice job, Ishikawa.
Molina thought he had it and then watched it just trickle away. John Jay did all he could. Could not hang on to the impact when he hit the ground. And now it's Derek Lilliquist out to talk. It's 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the inning. And it'll be Arias off the bench to pinch hit for Jake Peavy. There are the numbers for Joaquin during the regular season. This is his first at bat of this postseason.
Joe, Lance Lynn is a swing and miss pitcher. We're talking to Hensley Mullins, the hitting coach for the Giants. He really preaches keeping the bat in the zone for a long period of time, not in and out with some of the uppercut swings we see a lot of in the major leagues.
Affelt getting loose for the Giants. Arias in a spot to tie it with a hit. Shattered bat. That'll score a run. 2 out in a 2-1 game. Arias plates the run with a broken bat RBI groundout.
Well, you come to the plate in that situation, and I know it doesn't look pretty, but he did a great job anticipating the fastball, tries to put the ball in play. And when the infield's back in the middle, just try to put it in the middle of the diamond. You see how he's taking that ball inside out? He's just trying to shoot it to the other side and pick up the run. They shattered his bat in half, but you give up an out for a run any day.
Man, you can start a serious campfire with that kindling. Blow it up.
So Peavy is finished after 4. He allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. But made his biggest pitch to Matt Carpenter moments ago with the bases loaded behind on the count. And 2 out in the bottom of the 4th.
And it makes you realize that Lopez Carpenter battle may happen later in the game.
Now Blanco could tie it with a hit. He had bigger ideas. Gregor with a big swing, strike 1.
I'm just surprised you don't see him pull a bunt to the right side with him right here. Challenge them on the right side to field it clean and get him before that run scored.
Twice this year he has bunted with a runner on third and got the runner in.
Right side's back. Carpenter even with a bag at third. That's inside. A ball and a strike.
Typically, if you want to pull that ball with you on a bunt, you're looking for something hard up and in. And this would be the guy to do it on. He's been challenging with hard stuff the whole game.
Yeah, and you got 2 big bodies in first baseman Matt Adams and Lance Lynn. Kind of that no man's land area beyond the mound near first. Instead, a big swing, strike 2. Forget the bunt.
Yep. The foot race is over. Now it's an arms race with Lance Lynn bringing some heat.
There's the swing and miss fastball from Lance Lynn. Perfectly located above the heads.
Out of play.
I cannot remember a guy throwing this many fastballs. It's impressive.
Only Bartolo Colon threw a higher percentage of fastballs this year. And Colon really primarily, almost exclusively, a 2-seam guy. Lance Lynn with both fastballs. Got to believe he's got to stay upstairs a little bit higher than on the 2-strike swing and miss.
Tying run at third, 2 out. 2-2.
Can the Cardinals find a 2-strike swing and miss?
Yes, they can. Inning over as Lynn gets his first strikeout of the night. Sometimes you're able to hang on. Good against lefties, good against righties. You see his numbers, strong year. Here he is in the 5th inning. His Giants down 2-1.
Well, he's that bridge that they want to get to as they move through the game. I think back to Lopez when they did not have him face Carpenter. That's a situation Lopez knows he can be used early, he can be used late. So I think that matchup's going to come back later in this game to see happen.
John Jay first up, batting in the number 2 spot with Holiday and Adams to follow. That's strike 1.
Crucial. That was the word Bruce Bochy used in talking about Jeremy Affeld's role in this series. Why? Because you bring him into a game, as you said, Joe, he's so nasty against both lefties and righties. It doesn't matter where you are in the lineup, and he can get you multiple outs. Don't need to match up lefty on lefty with Affeld with a good sinker, very good curveball.
Big swing by Jay in the count 0-2.
2 nights in a row, Buster Posey taking one off the mask. John Jay's again trying to shoot this ball by the third baseman. That's why the late swing. Buster pays for it.
That hockey-style catcher's mask is supposed to deflect those foul tips. That was straight on.
A few of those. Mercy.
To the right side, that's Panic. One away. Batter will be Holiday. Where will you be the next time history is made? Be there for all of the action in 2015. Go to MLB.com/season tickets to reserve your seat today. Don't forget, fans, you can follow the postseason with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. You will be connected with every pitch with highlights, replay reviews, scores, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get the At Bat app for your smartphone or tablet. Holiday 0 for 2, and so far in the postseason, 4 out of 21. Left side from the hole. Crawford. Long throw. Got it with a nice dig at the other end by Brandon Belt.
Well, Crawford's got his number. We saw him make the play up the middle on him. Now he makes a play in the hole. And this is what you love about Brandon Crawford. Get rid of the ball. When you got a first baseman like Brandon Belt over there, you get rid of the baseball. And that's all he did. Range, get rid of it. And now you got a guy that's going to pick you up. Terrific play.
Brandon to Brandon. I love the job that Belt did by working through the baseball, going out and getting it, and keep the glove traveling through the baseball. Great play on both ends.
So now with 2 out, nobody on, they play Matt Adams to pull. Breaking ball stays inside.
It's all about the footwork too, man. I mean, to get rid of the ball that quick, you know who's running. It's a tremendous play.
Here's a 1-0. 2-0.
I saw a video of him taking ground balls, and it's almost like he was dribbling a basketball, the way he was handling the ball, fielding. It reminded me of Omar Vizquel with his handwork, to be able to have that kind of hand-eye coordination.
Right into the defense, right to the aforementioned Crawford, and a quick and easy first inning of work for Affeldt. Good game. 6th inning rolls in. Game 2. St. Louis on top, 2-1. 1-0. Now it's 2-1 in this matchup between Matheny and Bochy. Bochy in his 20th year as a big league manager. Mike Matheny in his 3rd, and they're meeting in the NLCS for the 2nd time over the last 3 years. Here's Panic, the rookie, the #2 hitter, trying to set the table for Posey and Sandoval. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, you appropriately said it too, Joe. This is one of those games where you see manager against manager. We've watched the strategies already, and now we're into the bullpen, and as far as the Giants are concerned.
Strike 2.
But that inning, when you're going to bunt or we're going to pitch to this guy, that's where the managers make their money.
Boch has won 2 championships with San Francisco. A strikeout starts the 6th. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lance Lynn. He got Blanco to end the 5th. He gets Panic to start the 6th. And here's our game summary. Matt Carpenter with a solo shot. Molina now with 89 career postseason hits. That's a franchise record, albeit with more opportunity these days than in decades gone by. Peavy went 4. Lynn is now into the 6th. Strike 1 on Buster Posey.
And now Lance Lynn has that, I'll call it invisible working, that 4-seam fastball that just holds its plane. You will rarely see him throw a pitch in the dirt. Why? Again, he doesn't really rely on tilt on his fastball with that 3/4 delivery. That pitch you saw right there, Posey did a good job just to get a piece of it. But he's got that working now where it dances at the top of the strike zone or a little bit above.
Trying to strike out 3 straight. Ball 1.
I mean, he's just playing high school baseball. Here it is, hit it. I mean, goodness. There is no thought of a breaking pitch. I love it. I mean, he's been aggressive. Obviously, he's winning right now 2-1.
3 in a row. And 2 out here in the 6th.
That's just nasty. Watch the run on this. He's going to move in on Posey. Tries to catch up with it. Just can't clear his hips in time. Look at the run.
That's a pitch you might start seeing more of, like Greg Maddox did the changeup to right-handed hitters back in his day. You don't see a lot of right-handed pitchers throw that ball that cuts back in on the right-handed hitter. That's a heck of a pitch.
Now Sandoval has got 6 career postseason home runs, 0 for 2 tonight. 3 hits last night. He's flying to center. He's fouled out. Base is empty. Jammed. Strike 1.
Danger, danger. You're going to have to really be careful with placing it, because he's got one thing in his mind right now. That's tying the game up. And if he gets into a count, we've watched him now 2 at-bats. He had a 2-0 pitch. He let the dog out right there. He's letting it fly. Danger, danger. Be careful.
Now he can strike out the side.
You go to high school, you go to the batting cages. That last cage at the very end that threw the hardest. Basically what he's doing, you're dropping your quarters into the machine, and Lance Lynn is saying, here it comes, boys.
Fought it off. 95. Lynn is throwing as hard as he has all night. He has shown that he can command all 4 corners of home plate.
There's that ball that runs up high. You know, talking to A.J. Przinsky before the game, he really gave you a great definition of Lance Lynn's fastball. And it's one of those that it just jumps on you. And that's why he can continually repeat it, because they don't pick it up.
Lefty in the pen, righty on the mound where it counts. And a fly ball into left. Holiday into his right. Long run. Can't get there. And it's going to go out of play for a double. So there's the tying run as Pablo Sandoval hit it right down the left field line.
And it's a rare breaking ball. After saying all the fastballs, he decides he's going to break one off. And Sandoval was able to keep it fair.
And Harold, he went to the breaking ball because you don't hear this settle on foul balls. A foul ball was a great piece of hitting by Pablo Sandoval. I don't know how he got a piece of that 95-mile-an-hour fastball up in his chin, but he did, and he got Lance Lynn off the fastball. And I got to try something different with this guy. Well, he tried something different. And Sandoval keep his head on that ball.
Great head discipline, and we saw it last night on the balls that were down, and we showed the pictures on the 2-base hits. That right there, same thing, head down.
Well, here's Hunter Pence. Tying run at second with 2 out. Pence 0 for 2. On deck is a left-handed hitting Brandon Belt. That's why we saw Randy Choate up for St. Louis in their bullpen, and now he's joined by a right-hander. Seth Maness is going to crank it up.
But you're right, Joe. Choate is for that one lefty, the lefty specialist to get you out of that inning.
Hard ball from Lynn, 94, strike 1.
I thought it was interesting earlier. We got a peek into the Cardinal dugout, and we saw Mike Matheny looking at the board, just thinking ahead in the inning. And that's what's impressive about these managers. They think ahead of time before it happens or gets upon you. See Mike Aldretti behind him. They're ready to make that move if they need to.
Ball 2. Hunter Pence drove home 74 runs during the regular season. Hit 277. Six RBIs this postseason for Pence. Ball 3.
This is where you find Yachty saying, look, give me your best stuff right here. Give me all you got.
Full count.
You hear the grunt. You reach back for a little extra, Tom.
And the signs between Molina and Lance Lynn, just a formality. Question is, will Hunter Pence be disciplined enough to make this pitch be in the strike zone? No chance of catching up to that one.
Good swing by Pence at 95 from Lynn. Tim Flannery, the third base coach. The pitch is coming in, is about halfway toward home plate. Screaming out at Pablo Sandoval at second base. He got his back to the hitter. Pence ever turned on one.
Oh, that's a brave man right there.
Full count. Tying run at second, 2 out. That's into right center field and will tie this game at 2. Hunter Pence delivers with 2 strikes and 2 out here in the 6th. Here comes Mike Matheny. And with Brandon Belt coming up, it'll be the left-hander Choate coming in. Up to 98 pitches on the night, and there's the foul ball on that pitch that was up.
That was up out of the strike zone. I asked if he had the discipline. He did not, but got a piece of it, and that one just a little bit lower than he could put the barrel on. What a dagger of a hit by Hunter Pence.
Pence is tied it. And now the Cardinals are into their bullpen. Sandoval scores the tying run. He doubled with 2 out. Scores on the hit by Pence. Choate takes over in a 2-2 game. Of the division series. Had a good year, and he is usually a 1 or 2 batter pitcher. Lefty on lefty. Here is Belt, and that's strike 1.
What a game, huh?
Really well played, well pitched. So much strategy involved, and Lance Lynn is finished after 5 2/3. 2 runs on 6 hits, responsible for the runner at first. That's Pence. Strike 2.
Well, the numbers say he sees the ball well against Randy Choate. Sinker right there. Go-to pitch is the sweeping breaking ball.
You mean that one?
That you couldn't place it any better than that. Perfect 0-2 execution. There's Bill Welke called ball outside, just missed the corner.
Inning over, but not before 2-out noise. It was Sandoval with a double down the left field line, and it was Pence with 2 outs and 2 strikes that tied it with a hit. Tight game, well played, game well pitched. Bottom of the 6th inning, game 2 of the NLCS, tied at 2. St. Louis has Peralta, Molina, Wong against Jeremy Affeldt. What is now a 2-2 game. 0-1 down and in.
Well, now as we head to a battle of the bullpens, this is where it gets interesting because both the pens are very deep.
I mean, Bruce Bochy, and Mike Matheny, but Bochy especially. You don't go 27-10 in the postseason as Bochy's Giants have done without the bullpen playing a huge role. talked about at the top that this would be a bullpen game, and that's the Giants' liking. The numbers that they have put up this postseason, impressive. How about the one on the bottom? The last 33 times Bochy has gone to his bullpen, undefeated, 6-0.
Here is a 1-1 pitch. Peralta takes low. During the regular season, this bullpen for Bruce Bochy was third best in the National League in ERA, but they lost only 14 games, which was the fewest in all of Major League Baseball.
I'm going to give you some more numbers, but the number to remember here is 0 when it comes to this bullpen because they don't allow much.
2-2.
You talk about having a lot of choices. Jeremy Affeldt, no runs allowed in his past 14 postseason games. Romo, no runs in his past 11. Lopez, no runs in his past 12. And Casilla, the closer, no runs in his past 14. You talk about options for a manager. All good.
Peralta trying to start it with something. He takes high, and it's full count.
And you can't discount the series against the Nationals, particularly the long extra inning game. You get everybody in. So they've been game ready. They've got through the nervousness of the postseason, the young players that hadn't been through it. Everybody participated.
That's a leadoff walk on a 3-2 pitch that missed.
Certainly don't want to do this. Now you're inviting trouble. This is with the sinker down. Watch Posey's glove with the run on this pitch. Backhands it.
Yeah, that's almost impossible. You see where it's square, and Bochy's asking for.
You're not going to get the call when the catcher has to backhand the pitch like that.
Yeah, that's hard on the. That's actually not even fair when the ball has to be backhand that much movement.
Well, here's Molina, who was up there bunting and dropped down to sacrifice his last time. Takes a strike. That was with 2 on and nobody out. Set up second and third, a walk to Kolten Wong, and then an RBI base hit by Grichuk, which made it 2-0. And Lynn made an out, a fly ball to right. Carpenter with a count of 2-0 popped one into shallow center. That is foul down the right side, strike 2.
You know, with Matt Adams at second base in that situation when Yadi bunted, I want to call him Jose so bad. When Yadi dropped that bunt, you have to let Adams know in that situation so he can get a jump, because you got a force at third base. And so with him dropping that bunt, I think that's why they had the conversation. He and Oquendo was, okay, we're going to put this, make sure you get it down third base. I got to let these guys know to get a jump on the bunt.
Ball 1. And Affeldt wants a visit from Buster Posey.
He's had all kinds of strange injuries, Affeldt. You have a knife put in his hand.
Yeah.
All kinds of crazy.
Trying to open frozen food.
Yeah.
Here's the first at bat by Yadier Molina. And here is a foul down the right side, and a little grimace from Yadier Molina.
Cold night, man. That thumb is hurting.
Double play ball, panic, and Molina can't even get out of the box.
That ball got back in on his hand.
He missed 50 days with torn ligaments in his right thumb. Now, whether it's that or it's something with the low body, no idea from up here. But he didn't run, which wouldn't lead you to think thumb or hand. And he looks a little staggered coming out of the batter's box. Looks like lower body as he limps toward the dugout. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews. Aaron.
You know, Joe, I've been watching Yadi during most of this game, and he has come down into the dugout and has been talking to the Cardinals head athletic trainer. And at one point, he was actually even pointing to his side. We saw where the ball actually bounced off of his toe. Thought it was something like that, but he kept pointing to his side. There were several times he went down into the dugout with the trainer came back up later. Didn't look like anything was going on. But yeah, as you guys saw right there, when he went to hit, obviously something went wrong. If we find out more information, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, I don't think it's the toes. Maybe. I mean, who knows? And first rule is you never speculate from the booth. But whatever it was, Molina couldn't get out of the batter's box. There's been a lot of time that's passed since that foul tip that went off the toes of Yadier Molina, but it looked like he locked up trying to get out of the batter's box.
Yeah, you can see him just couldn't get his backside through the ball on that swing.
Guys, maybe the mystery of the bunt is solved. You know, Mike Matheny, if he's been going back, and Aaron was talking about that, they knew he's not physically capable of running. So you may as well have him drop the bunt. Remember when he dropped the bunt, he barely ran. Once he got it down, see you later.
Meanwhile, Mike Matheny made the change coming into this round to add a catcher. He added A.J. Pierzynski, so he's carrying 3 catchers. He's down to 2. He will go to Tony Cruz, I would imagine, off the bench to catch. But Pierzynski's there to back up. Wong now with a count of 2-2.
Well, it's interesting because you have so many. You do not have a left-handed. You have a bunch of right-handed pitchers down the stretch for the Giants. You got that left-handed bat in A.J. who can give you some thunder.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Affel misses outside, a full count.
Nasty pitch.
Leadoff walk, then the double play ball off the bat of Molina.
Well, I tell you what, that was deafening in this crowd when Molina could not run out of the box. Just pin drop. Wow.
He's a leader with his Cardinal ball club. It's the same way Buster Posey is with the Giants. He won't continue as Wong strikes out. 2 scoreless put up by Affel. And that sends this game 2 into the 7th inning. The headline from the bottom of the 6th, Yadier Molina injured, can't continue. 2-2 game in game 2 of this NLCS. As we go to San Francisco game 3, coverage begins at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Later that night, ALCS game 4 at 8 Eastern on TBS. It's Cruz taking over behind the plate for the injured Yadier Molina. The instant we get something on exactly what it was, it didn't allow Molina to get out of the batter's box in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll pass it on. Randy Choate struck out Belt to end the top of the 6th. He's out there to try and get Crawford to start the 7th. Michael Morse is on deck. In the bullpen is Carlos Martinez, and the wheels are turning here in the 7th inning of game 2.
You can bet Martinez will be in when Morse is announced.
That's ball 3, 3-0. Crawford trying to get on any way he can. The guy who hit 16 home runs, but coming off an oblique strain, waiting on deck. That's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. The go-ahead run is on with nobody out here in the 7th inning for San Francisco. Morse will be announced, and we should see Mike Matheny pop out of that dugout. Here he comes. Choate goes a third of an inning, allows a walk, and he picked up a strikeout. And Morse will get his first at bat. He's had only 2 since the end of August. He's been playing in the Arizona Instructional League, trying to get live at bats. Now he will get his Giants NLCS debut. Choate out. Meanwhile, the guy stepping in, Michael Morse, is going to get his first real at bat since September 19th. Coming off an oblique strain, hit 16 home runs during the regular season in his first year with San Francisco.
It's up to Carlos Martinez to bail out bullpen mate Randy Choate. Picked a bad time for his second 4-pitch walk of the season, leading off a tie ball game in the 7th.
So Crawford at first, nobody out. Morse, and now just into the game. It'll be a pass ball on Cruz to send the go-ahead run down to second with nobody out.
Ball ran. Once the run on this, he's expecting it a little bit further out. It runs back in. I always say in baseball, the ball finds you, right? That's one of those examples. Even though he's catching, the ball just took off. What an explosion. He wasn't able to hang on to it.
They may score that a pass ball, but that is a tough reaction to make. You're expecting a four-seam fastball away, and it's got run on the complete other side of the plate.
So the RBI chance made easier as Morse swings and fouls at strike one.
At 99, no doubt. That was 95 right there, but the ball that ran, it's almost impossible to catch.
Michael Morse, a free agent addition. Big year in 2011 with Washington at 31 home runs, had 31 the previous 2 years combined. 16 with the Giants this year. Here's the 1-1. Inside, ball two.
Started off a house of fire with the home runs, swinging big home runs in San Francisco, ballpark that everybody challenges, and he made it look small. And then the injuries hit him this season.
Off that strained muscle in his side, he says he's 100%. First at bat, shatters his bat in the hole. Peralta keeps it on the infield. It'll be an infield base hit. A walk, a hit, and Peralta keeping it on the infield keeps Brandon Crawford at second base.
Well, that's a great play by Peralta. You see the ball run in on Morris, the broken bat, but by Peralta keeping this dive, it doesn't allow Crawford, and now you're first and third if he misses this ball, but instead you're first and second. So now you keep the double play in order, but you also keep the bunt in order that you might get an out through the bunt in this situation with Perez now coming to the plate.
Juan Perez will come off the bench with runners at first and second, nobody out, as Michael Morse just delivered the first successful pinch hit for the Giants this postseason.
We've seen the Cardinals try to run that hybrid wheel play with the force and order in a bunt situation at third base.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that here with Perez. I know they run it on the pitcher, but if they set up in that position that we saw them in Los Angeles, he's going to swing clearly without even thinking about bunting. I think you want to force him to bunt and get an out. See what happens the rest of the way.
Here's a bunt, somehow gets it down. The out at first. That ball running in on Perez, and he got it down fair to Carpenter. The runners advance to second and third.
What a job. I mean, a little bit of self-defense, but to catch this ball, deaden it, make the third baseman field it. Wow, that's a terrific job by Perez. The ball kept running in on him.
Watch how he backs up with this ball. Backs it up to deaden it. But again, he set the angle early. And what I mean by that is you're setting that angle where you want that ball to go. He gets the bat, bunted to third. I'm setting it in a position, and now you just deaden the ball. It's a great piece of bunting.
Well, now Gregor Blanco has a chance. He's got one RBI this postseason. The infield is in. The lead runner is Crawford. One out in the inning. And this is where Carlos Martinez, who is that strikeout type pitcher, will look for one here in the seventh. Right side base hit. One run scores. That's Crawford. Morse will hold at third. And the Giants have their first lead of the night. It's 3-2. RBI by Gregor Blanco.
Well, he's been having a leadoff hitters at bats, taking a lot of pitches, a lot of strikes. This is your turn to get selfish. He gets a pitch and hits a little ground ball in between the two of them. First pitch of the at bat. The other ABs, he's been deep in counts, fighting things off. As the game dictates opportunities, he got his and took advantage of it.
Once again, great situational hitting by the Giants. You knew Carlos Martinez was in strikeout mode. First pitch, attacking it with a very level swing, found a hole.
Now Panic with first and third, one out. Posey on deck. The Cardinals have Marco Gonzalez in their bullpen, but it's Martinez on the mound. Ball one outside.
And the game changes right here too with Molina out of the game. Now all of a sudden the steal is back in play. And you got a guy with a high kick in Martinez, and you got a guy that can run at first base in Blanco. I think you take the bag, and now you're second and third. You force that infield in again. You try to keep that will going.
The lead by Blanco stays put. Cruz blocks it in the dirt, and the count's 2-0.
Saw Roberto Kelly over there at first base talking to Blanco. He had the stopwatch on Martinez. He just said, Harold, the high leg kick. It's a matter of doing the math. Figure out what his time is to the plate.
You also got a situation, with the runner at third base and how the defense is set up in the middle. They're not worried about you stealing the bag. They're not making that throw.
Here is a 2-0 to Panic. In the air to right. Grichuk will come up ready to throw. Tagging is Morse. He stays put. And Grichuk throws a strong throw to the plate. Not exactly a strike, but good enough.
Showing off tonight, man.
Yeah, and the crowd loves it, but there's no way Michael Morse even thought about going home. He put on a little fake there. Yeah, I'm going to draw a throw. They got the book on Randall Grichuk.
I love it. This kid's got a load of talent. There you go. You're going to challenge me? Let me just show off a second. They got a great find in this young man.
He came with Peter Borges from the Angels organization when the Cardinals traded David Freese and Fernando Salas to the Angels in November. Now it's Posey, and he pops one into center. Should end the inning. But the Giants have their first lead of the night. RBI belongs to Blanco. After a walk, a pass ball, a hit by Morse set it up. Blanco has put the Giants on top. Time between the lines as Juan Perez takes over and left. The Giants add to their defense, so Perez, who got down that bunt, stays in the ball game. Machi takes over as right into the game. Tony Cruz, after a 4-pitch walk to Brandon Crawford, a pass ball followed in the at bat by Morse, and that set the dominoes in order. A base hit by Morse, and then the bunt and the RBI base hit by Gregor Blanco for the lead. Grichuk gets under it, pops it up on the infield for Crawford. 1 out.
Well, that injury to Molina is a huge blow. I mean, if you're talking about an oblique muscle, you know how long those obliques take. That's a serious injury.
Yeah, completely different team without him. Pay attention to the ERA as well as the record. This is where you're going to have to trust your doctors. If you do replace Molina on the roster for this series, he would become ineligible for the World Series if the Cardinals advance.
Pat Neshek getting loose as Oscar Taveras comes on to pinch hit. He bats for Carlos Martinez, who went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, and 1 inherited runner to score. Javier Lopez is getting loose for the second time in this game. Taveras, strike 1.
Getting ready for the matchup that Bochy pulled him back and thought later might be a bigger moment than earlier in the game. Pretty good, huh? Bochy.
Bochy stuck with Peavy in that 4th inning. He got the left-handed hitting Matt Carpenter. As the Cardinals left the bases loaded, St. Louis has stranded 5. The Giants have stranded 6.
By the way, Gene Machi, yet another option for Bruce Bochy. You're seeing him, and this is what he does. He can throw that splitter pitch after pitch after pitch. Signed back in 2000 by the Phillies as a skinny shortstop out of Venezuela.
2 things changed then, huh?
Not just his position. The Giants signed him in 2011, a few years ago. They sent him to the Mexican League, and he said at that point, I'm done. This is the end of my career. The Giants are sending me to pitch in the Mexican League. Well, he worked his way back and actually has become a very valuable piece for Bruce Bochy as part of that long bridge they have to get to Santiago Garcia.
I'm still trying to find the skin.
Here's the 2-1. That's hit in the air. Taveras off the bench has tied it. That swing chases Machi. And Taveras, who had only 3 home runs in over 230 at-bats in the big leagues, takes a curtain call here in the 7th inning of Game 2. The Cardinals with only 2 pinch-hit home runs all season. And Taveras, the biggest swing of his young big league life, happens right here, has tied it at 3.
Why not a lot of pitchers throw the split? Because when you hang it, it's the easiest pitch to hit for a home run.
Now Lopez to deal with Carpenter, ball 1 outside.
I love Oscar Taveras. But watching him in the LA series, look, he's going to slim down, get himself a little better physical condition, but you don't teach that swing. He's had huge numbers in the minors. It's been a big adjustment year, a humbling year for him. It's a big hit.
Only 3 home runs in the big leagues after 234 at-bats. That's low for ball 2, 2-0. He's the one guy Mike Matheny had. Now he's got A.J. Brzezinski, but prior to activating Brzezinski, who could come off the bench even in September, really, and pop a home run, and he just did it.
Yeah, last night talking about that, I was talking more about the right-handed hitters. There's hardly any pop on the right side coming off the bench.
There's a 2-0. That's a strike, 2-1.
If there's going to be any second guessing, you might wonder why didn't Bochy go to Lopez to face Taveras when you know you got Carpenter and Jay coming up after him. He'll go to the lefty a little sooner. If anybody's going to second guess, that would be the second guessing.
Machi came on, got Gritchett. Stayed around for Taveras, and Taveras knocked him out. The 2-1. That's a strike. It's 2-2.
There's not many pitchers in the big leagues that you can have warm up in the 4th inning when you're in a jam and say, you know what, sit on down. We'll bring you back in the 7th when we need you again and have good stuff. He's a rare breed, and the ability to be able to do that is very special.
Neshek, an all-star this year, is ready to go for the Cardinals in the 8th. Full count. It's Carpenter now, John Jay on deck. And with Matt Holliday lurking, Hunter Strickland, a hard-throwing right-hander, is up for the Giants in their pack. A strikeout for out number 2. Let's go back to the home run.
Yeah, Machi's split is designed to neutralize left-handers, but how important is it to get it down? Look at the glove of Buster Posey. Get it down, get it down. Oops. Left it up. And when those splits don't dive, they go a long way.
This is in Ballpark Village across the street, out beyond the left field wall.
Pretty cool place. I went over there last week. Very unique. Great place.
First year for that. Here's Jay. Almost walked right into it. Ball 1 inside. Giants in the 8th will have Sandoval, Pence, and Belt against Neshek. Hard hit, base hit. Jay keeps wearing out left-handers.
That's such a great approach. It looks like the ball's getting to the zone he wants it in, and he's not missing. Here's the ball. He takes it inside out. He's looking to shoot that ball up the middle. He got the pitch to do it with.
And that base hit into center is going to knock out Javier Lopez and set up a matchup between Matt Holliday and Hunter Strickland in a tie game. These two teams banging heads again in the NLCS. It's a 22-year. How about this matchup, guys? You got the hard-throwing kid right-hander Hunter Strickland against a guy who knows how to handle a fastball, and Matt Holliday coming up.
It's going to be fun to watch. You know, Matt Holliday, we talk a lot about Mike Trout being a guy that hits the ball down low. Holliday is a low ball hitter.
Like Strickland, we've seen him challenge Bryce Harper, and the result of that twice. Home runs. Got to make sure he's got a great upper 90s fastball, but don't leave it out over the plate. Don't let Holliday extend his arms on the fastball.
Strickland grew up in Georgia. Fourth of 7 kids. Intensity ratcheted up one more notch in the NLCS. Holiday couldn't catch up at 96.
Buster's going to have a conversation real quick off that first pitch. I'm curious what Posey saw that we're missing. That ball's right over the middle of the plate. That's what he's saying. He thinks he got away with one on the first pitch right there. That's how critical this situation is. We're not wasting time.
Corey told him a joke. Strickland started smiling after he left.
This kid does not lack confidence. He was a starting pitcher, thrown about 93 in the Pirates minor league system. Giants signed him, blew out his elbow, made it back in 10 months from Tommy John surgery, and the velocity has shot up out of the bullpen.
One ball, one strike.
You know, the other simple reminder too that Buster may have been saying is don't worry about that guy at first. Gather yourself, give me your best fastball, because this is the guy that can hurt you. Saw the difference, 93 to 97, a little higher leg kick. Gather yourself and give me your best stuff.
'98, and Holiday fouled it straight back.
How much fun is this? Over the plate, but up enough, plenty of velocity. That's a hard pickup of the baseball for a right-handed hitter. Strickland hides it very well.
They got Jay wandering. And now hung up. Took off too early. Strickland a good job to cover. Long rundown, but the out is the result. Jay tried to leave too soon.
Yeah, and it's not actually, you know what? Now you start off with Holiday with a clean count.
And the inning comes to a close with this. An inning that featured a pinch hit home run by Oscar Taveras to tie game 2 at 3 after 7.
It came out. This is basically from the bench. Let's take a throw over, no big deal. And they catch him gambling, and they're able to pick him off.
So now it's Neshek. He was an all-star, was a late sign, and these numbers are just ridiculous. Got a loss in the division series and a game 2 home run by Matt Kemp. But he has been as good an 8th inning setup man as there is in Major League Baseball. And it's come out of nowhere because along with a funky delivery, now his velocity is up in the low to sometimes mid-90s, which was never the case with Neshek.
Now that's rare to see from somebody who throws from that low arm slot.
The definition of funky. And Sandoval strikes out on 3 pitches.
What's so rare about his motion is most guys that come sidearm, so to speak, they come from underneath. He's strictly a sidearm guy. Look at the run he gets on the ball away from the left-handed hitter. Right here, when you're hitting, you go right there. You think he's going to come underneath, submarine on you. Comes back up top, and he's putting something on there from three-quarter angle.
He's a guy that's bounced around in his big league career. He's a guy who has been through a lot personally. Ken Rosenthal has the story. Kenny, take it from there.
Joe, it was just over 2 years ago that Pat and his wife Stephanie lost a baby boy, Gehrig, just 23 hours after he was born for reasons that are still not known. Now, Stephanie gave birth to another son, Hoyt, last March 13th, and Hoyt is doing great. But Neshek says the hardest thing for him is thinking every day about what Gehrig might have been doing and about what it would have been like for Hoyt to have an older brother.
Thank you, Kenny. Neshek for the first time. A guy who's received playoff shares, that's money, 6 times. Never had gotten out of the first round with the Twins or the A's. He's here with the Cardinals. The NLCS. Here's his 1-1. Pence. Strike 2. There's more to the story professionally with Neshek. If we get the chance, we'll send it back down to Kenny. I mean, Neshek was there for the taking. There were some teams that were on the list that could have used it. Here's a little fly ball foul. How about the teams that didn't call him, Ken Rosenthal, but that he called trying to get a job?
Well, one of them was the Detroit Tigers, a team that badly needed bullpen help all season. The Brewers actually offered him a minor league deal, but they didn't even give him an invitation to Major League spring training. Now, he wanted to be with a team in Florida. He lives in Melbourne, Florida. And the Cardinals at least were only a 90-minute drive away in Jupiter. Never figured he'd make their opening day roster, but he did and pitched 67 1/3 innings, most since 2007.
And he has struck out the first 2 he's faced in the NLCS.
And it looks like he's back in the rhythm. You know, he struggled a little bit against the Dodgers. I think that might have been a little bit of a layoff, but he really looks like he's attacking more. His motion is faster. He's speeded it up, and it's got him in sync once again.
2 good hitters, Sandoval and Pence, looking badly against the stuff from Neshek right now. Talked about the difficulty of putting away these Giants hitters. Not for Pat Neshek.
Lynn started, then choked, then Carlos Martinez, who did a good job to limit the damage in the 7th. He's got Bell absolutely locked up with strike 1.
That was pretty.
68 miles.
I mean, you think about it. You know how fast his motion is. He goes back, whoop, whoop, and then woo, just locks you up.
2 out, nobody on. He could strike out the side. He's a free agent to be. You think any teams are going to line up to call him? Detroit might want to redo. There it is again.
You know, you always, every year you have a guy. Last year was Koji Urihara that popped up out of nowhere and it just became the guy. 2 years ago, it was this man, Sergio Romo.
Well, now Neshek trying to shine on October 12th.
It's almost as if no 2 pitches are the same and no 2 windups are the same with Neshek. You saw him speed up the delivery, the 68-mile-an-hour flutter ball, a little more conventional with the heater.
Good rip by Belt.
I think he's the type of guy you have to see more than one time to gauge. But what I'm seeing this time around is now, like you said, Tom, he's mixing up the rhythm of his windup. So now the pitches become even more effective.
2-2. Mike Matheny rode Neshek and Rosenthal hard in the middle part of the year. Nothing came easy to this Cardinal club that won the division by 2 over the Pirates. Neshek. Fly ball into left center. Jay's there. And a 1-2-3, top of the 8th. Part of the order coming up for St. Louis. Down 1 game to nothing. 3-3 game. High bat with a strained oblique. Carpenter with a home run in this game. Taveras, a pinch hit home run, tied it. The Giants' string of 7 consecutive postseason road wins is on the line here tonight. 3-3, bottom of the 8th. Holiday, Adams, and Peralta.
Now, Holiday was left at the plate when Jay got picked off. He'd already seen 3 pitches. I think that's a huge advantage for him.
Took a ball from Strickland, the rookie, and now a strike, 1-1.
To start with a clean count, all of a sudden you saw 3 pitches last at bat to a guy you hadn't seen in a while, and now all of a sudden you go back with a fresh perspective. Now you're gauging the 97. You're feeling a lot better about yourself.
Holiday 0 for 3 tonight. 20 home runs during the regular season. Reaching for it, strike 2. Checking with the home plate umpire, Bill Welke, to see if it was a strike, and Welke nodded yes. Matt Adams on deck, then Peralta. Biggest stage of his life, and Hunter Strickland does not look fazed by this at all. If you read body language, if it's worth anything, he's comfortable. Into center. Right there is Blanco, 1 away. Geico in-game box score for St. Louis. Carpenter with a home run. That came back in the 3rd inning to make it 1-0. John Jay with a base hit tonight in 4 trips. Peralta with a couple of walks and a single. The big one is down at the number 9 spot. Pinch hit, game-tying home run off the bench for Oscar Taveras.
This is the tough matchup for Strickland. He's a guy who sets up the third base side of the rubber, creates the angle on the right-handed hitters. Left-handers get a better look, and this guy can turn around anybody's fastball downstairs.
Bryce Harper hit a mammoth home run in that decisive Game 4 of the divisional series out into McCovey Cove at AT&T Park off Strickland.
To that series off Strickland.
Is it an 0-1? 1 ball, 1 strike.
And maybe he learned something from facing the other lefties, Tom, because he's come out with 2 sliders here to Adams.
Exactly. And again, the ball down, the fastball down. I don't care what velocity it is. Adams can turn it around.
Good pitch. Strike 2.
3 sliders.
Adams was geared up for the fastball.
See the fingers on the outside of the baseball, getting the spin. Excellent placement as well.
Rammed into right. Matt Adams has put the Cardinals on top. It's 4-3. Strike 1 on Peralta.
3 sliders and a 97-mile-an-hour heater, and he's still turned on.
sits at .315 against right-handed pitching in 12 of his 15 home runs during the regular season against right-handers. And after that big game-winning home run off Clayton Kershaw in Game 4 of the divisional round, he has put the Cardinals on top here in Game 2. Strike 2. We talk about the dominance of that Giants pen. The bullpen has allowed 6 runs for the Giants this entire postseason, all on solo home runs. 2 off Machi, 4 off Strickland. Machi's given up 1 tonight. Strickland has given up 1 tonight. 2-2.
Yeah, I think that had to be a matchup that had to concern Bruce Bochy. How about this? Don't want your name in the record books for that.
The 2-2. Peralta flips one into right. Hunter Pence is there. That's out number 2.
Well, watching that Adams hit reminds me of someone looking through a menu until he found something he liked. And what he likes, fastballs. Take the breaking ball, take the breaking ball, get the fastball. This guy eats fastballs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I said he likes it down. Doesn't matter even if it's up. He is as good a fastball hitter as you will find, especially against right-handed pitching.
Well, I marvel at that. I mean, he hadn't seen the fastball in that at-bat off of Strickland. So to be able to jump on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball after you haven't had a chance to gauge it is very impressive.
It's just so out of nowhere what the Cardinals have done this postseason with the home run ball.
It really is.
They've hit 10. They hit 105 the entire regular season.
Well, it's a new year. It's a new season.
Something's going on in the water in Missouri.
Yeah, same's going on across the state with the Royals.
Fewest home runs in the other league, winning postseason games with home runs.
Tavares tied it. He's in the foreground, and Adams has just put St. Louis back on top. 6 of the 10 home runs, by the way, have come in the 7th inning or later this postseason for the Cardinals. 2 out, nobody on. Strickland misses with ball 1.
You can see by some of these swings from the right-handed hitters why he's just so nasty on right-handers with the angle he creates and the crossfire delivery. Left-handers see the ball much better.
This place is buzzing. What a game. Off we go into the 9th inning. The same situation set up for Trevor Rosenthal by Big City. Another big fly. Adams makes it 4-3 into the 9th inning of Game 2. During the regular season, has 1 home run this postseason. Rosenthal looking for his 8th career postseason save. Misses outside ball 1, and what we've seen in the postseason is a little more of what we saw during the regular season. Rosenthal, when he's throwing strikes, can be unhittable. Sometimes he has a tough time throwing strikes.
Not too many clean innings in the postseason.
2-0.
Able to make some pitches when he absolutely had to, but has put himself in some pressure situations with a lack of control.
And here's where the experience where Yadi Molina would come out and calm him down. Tony Cruz obviously spent a lot of time, conversations, and everything else. This is what they have done to guide him through. It seems like in the games we've been able to do here in the postseason so far.
Games 3 and 4, Mike Matheny and Carlos Martinez up in the bullpen with Rosenthal in the ballgame. Martinez has already been used. Here's a 2-0. 3-0.
Crawford, you almost have to sit back and, well, he can tie a game with a swing. I was going to say take 2 strikes for sure. If you're going to swing, you better hit a ball in the ballpark. Make him work right now.
That's a strike, and it was borderline. 3-1.
Now you lock in. If you're Crawford, you get your pitch. You got to go ahead and try to put one in the seats, but he's scuffling. You got a call right there. Top of the zone.
3-1. Strike 2. Just caught the corner again.
That's what's frustrating as a hitter. He's all over the place the first 3 pitches, and then he paints 2 strikes on you, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're not going to swing at those balls. That's what happens when you face a guy who's effectively wild. And then he's able to reach back with 99, and you got no chance after he's putting them on the corner.
4-seam fastball. He saw 5 of them, but the first swing did not have him timed.
Susak, the backup catcher, is going to come off the bench for Bruce Bochy. Hit 3 home runs during the regular season, 0 for 1 in this postseason.
Coming off the bench looking for that heater, and he drops a slider. It's great execution.
That's into center field, a base hit, and the tying run is on for the Giants. Susak aboard with Juan Perez coming up.
Beautiful piece of hitting. Fastball right down the middle. Stayed with it.
Yeah, that's the fastball you have to make him throw. The ball above the belt, no chance. Fastball down, got a chance. He squared it up.
Now Matt Duffy is going to come off the bench and run here in the 9th inning.
I always find this fascinating scenario with a closer like Rosenthal, who's very slow to the plate. You don't want to get the tying run thrown out. But at the same time, a window is there to grab a bag.
Up the middle. Another base hit. Perez is aboard. Duffy stops at second. 2 on, 1 out. So now the tying run is in scoring position, with a go-ahead run on at first here in the 9th.
We talk about both these teams are cut from the same cloth. There's no quit. They manufacture right when you think you got it under control. Here they come nibbling back at you.
Once again, Mike Matheny has to get his bullpen up with the closer on the mound.
He's got Maness, the right-hander. He's got Marco Gonzalez, the left-hander, with Gregor Blanco at the plate. Blanco, an RBI base hit his last time up to give the Giants a 3-2 lead at the time. That was in the 7th.
All you ask for is an opportunity. They put themselves right back in an opportunity to tie this ball game, maybe even go ahead.
Rosenthal against Blanco. Ball 1. The Giants, when they score 3 or more runs in the postseason, have won 22 of their last 24. Both losses are to the Cardinals. They've scored 3 here tonight, a chance for more. One ball, 1 strike, and a good rip by Blanco.
Well, he was on that. He's had some good swings tonight. Now, we saw him obviously come up with a base hit. Infield drawn in, but right here, ball running away. Good stroke. That's the difference. You can get away with a mistake when you're throwing at high 90s like he is.
Strike two.
Tim Flannery, Giants third base coach, knows the most difficult send is the hard hit ball to right field, where Randall Grichuk, we've seen his arm, has the best arm of the three outfielders.
Holiday does not possess a great arm in left. Grichuk getting his right arm loose. As Tom said, clearly the best arm in the outfield. Ball two.
Bill Wilkie's had a good plate tonight.
That's ball three.
The action on that ball almost looks like it's a split. Something that dives down hard, sinker. You see how Cruz had to dig this ball out. You don't see that very often. Keep the velocity at 99 when you're throwing the ball down that low.
Line drive. Two down. Blanco hit it hard, but right at Peralta.
This is a good hold by Peralta. Great read by Duffy at second to know where the guy's positioned behind you, and no throw by Peralta. He looks around, and you make this throw, you throw it away. There's nobody backing that up because you got first and second. The first baseman's breaking the cover at first. He throws it away. It's rolling around the right field.
That's a great read by Duffy, a young player. You think maybe he gets caught up in the moment. You saw him put the brakes on immediately with the ball in the air.
Terrific baseball play.
Now it's Panic. The rookie against Rosenthal. 2 on, 2 out. 4-3 in the ninth. Strike one. Strike two.
Goes up the ladder, gets the foul tip.
Ball one sneaks in there at 99.
I mean, to sustain the velocity, I said it earlier, most guys, when you throw high and you throw that hard, you keep it. Down low, very difficult to do.
Two and two. On deck, Buster Posey. Tony Cruz out to slow things down. St. Louis has won 20 consecutive home postseason games when they score 3 or more runs. That speaks to good pitching. We understand the football game is over on a Sunday night. A lopsided win for Philly over the Giants. Cardinals led 2-0 after 4. The Giants tied in the 6th inning. Took a lead on an RBI base hit by Gregor Blanco in the 7th. Pinch hit home run by Oscar Taveras tied it in the 7th. A home run by Matt Adams put the Cardinals up in the 8th. Now 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2. Now a full count, and that gives the runners a head start.
Tell you what, to go back to the play, the base running of Duffy. It's a huge play. And now the 3-2 count's big because, like you said, they're running. Now that player at first, Perez, who can run a little bit, may score even on a blooper in the gap somewhere.
3-2. Skips in. It gets away. Here comes Duffy. And this game is tied. On ball 4, a wild pitch that gets away. And Duffy showed great base running instincts. After pinch running, the wild pitch he scores from second.
You dream for a play like that. And the 3-2 pitch is what got him in trouble because so many things can happen when you go 3-2. And this ball kicks away from Cruz, and Duffy's reading it all the way. You can see Duffy here. He sees the ball in front of him. You don't need a coach. This is on your own. And all of a sudden he reads it. Watch his run. He's watching it. He's going. He's anticipating. He doesn't need flattery. He reads this on his own. He scores. Tremendous base run.
Rosenthal has been spiking that four-seam fastball pitch after pitch. It's not where he wants to live. And that one, again, we saw him have trouble with the mound the other day. They're going to look at it again. And Cruz, remember, in the game after the injury to Molina, tried to make the pick with the backhand rather than blocking the baseball on a very tough hop to handle.
Well, this was an issue back in the division series. Trevor Rosenthal with mud caked into his spikes. Spun out after that pitch, so Mike Matheny is out for the second time in the postseason to make Rosenthal dig the mud out of the spikes underneath that left shoe. Meanwhile, this game is tied. It's 4-4, first and third, 2 out, and the batter will be Buster Posey. And Rosenthal allowed back-to-back hits with 1 out, got a line drive out, and now on a 3-2 pitch with the runners going, throws a wild pitch on ball 4 to tie this game at 4.
Giants baseball. Remember Tim Flannery saying runs thrown in. Beat the Nationals on a wild pitch. Tied the game on a wild pitch.
Now Posey could give the Giants the lead again. Yadier Molina left mid-game with an oblique strain, so Tony Cruz behind the plate. Ball 1 upstairs. The Giants, who have won 7 straight postseason games on the road, have tied it with 2 out in the 9th.
Yeah, and if you're St. Louis, this is the guy you did not want to see coming to the plate.
Here comes a 1-0 pitch, first and third, 2 out. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Look how calm Buster is. Chewing gum, locked in. He's been there before, and this is where the experience of Buster Posey pays off.
Giants still have their 2 right-handers left in their bullpen. Romo and Casilla. Here's a 1-1. Meanwhile, the Giants are out of position players when Bruce Bochy went to Matt Duffy to pinch run, and did that decision pay dividends to not get doubled off second on the line drive and then to score on the wild pitch. Here comes a 2-1 to Posey. 2-2.
A little bit of a cutter or a slider on this at 92. Got a little slider breaking away from him. And when he hasn't thrown a pitch for a strike and they've all been 99, you're looking for that heater. It's a great pitch.
Pitch number 26 here in the 9th inning from Rosenthal. Posey on 2-2. Runner at first goes, and a foul. Mentioned the Molina injury. Here it is when he grounded into a double play in the 6th. Could not continue with an oblique strain. Here you go. On the wild pitch on ball 4, Duffy got the head start. And he kept on chugging to tie the game at 4. Now the 2-2.
Good take.
Full count and the runner at first. Panic will take off.
That was a huge block by Cruz there too. The confidence to throw the slider. You see him going with the backhand again, but watch him flip the body in front of it to block this ball in case it got by him.
Runner at first goes on ball 4, and we'll see how much more Matheny will go with Trevor Rosenthal. He's got Manus out there. He's got Sandoval coming up. He's also got the rookie Gonzalez.
I think you got to put him. Gonna go with the righty, huh? I thought he might put Sandoval on the right-hand side.
A little more experience with Manus.
One reason I say that, he's had so many at-bats. He's swinging so well left-handed. Flip their switch hitter over to the right side.
Rosenthal leaves. He walks his last 2 batters face. But this the big one. The wild pitch on ball 4 to Panic. And Duffy all the way around from second base, scoring to tie it at 4. Manus will take over with the bases loaded here in the 9th. Pacific right here on Fox Sports 1 later that night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, game 4 of the Orioles and Royals on TBS. Well, here's Manus. And who would the Giants rather have at the plate than Pablo Sandoval? He's got a chance to put the Giants back on top with the bases loaded, 2 out in a 4-4 game. Ball 1 outside.
This year against left-handers, Sandoval 199. Against right-handers, 317.
I didn't even know the numbers. I just think as a switch hitter, you always want to flip him. He's too locked in on the left-hand side right now.
Here's a 1-0. That is inside and low, 2-0.
1 for 4 lifetime against Seth Manus, a double.
Well, the left-hander in the bullpen is a rookie left-hander who is typically a starter. So they go with Manus. One thing you expect if you're Mike Matheny is strikes. And Sandoval may have chased on 2-0.
Yeah, he did. He's sitting on a pitch. A lot of guys, once they're sitting on the pitch and get it, even if it's out of the zone, they'll pull the trigger. Manus, no career walks with the bases loaded.
Tell you what, that's a sign of a guy who's feeling good about himself, though. Pablo is feeling good.
Tonight has a double. Last night had 3 hits. Could put the Giants on top. And now the count even, 2-2. Control got the better of Trevor Rosenthal, who saved 45 in the regular season, walked 42. Now it's Manus trying to keep it tied. Back to Manus. The Giants have tied it, but they leave the bases loaded and have stranded 10 tonight. Manus comes in with no margin for error against Sandoval. We're 4-4 to the bottom of the 9th in game 2. Buckner game. And as Romo coming into the ball game here. Started the year as the closer. Now the setup reliever. He was the closer back in 2012 when he and Casilla switched the other way. Giants bullpen is in decent shape with Petit, Lincecum, and Casilla left. San Francisco out of bench players as we go into the bottom of the 9th inning in a 4-4 game. First up, Kolten Wong. He's homered this postseason, takes a strike. 11 of the 13 home runs he's hit. And this is rookie year and come in this ballpark.
You see Pablo Sandoval at third base playing very shallow, taking away the bunt. He is not very good at fielding bunts. That's why they have to play him so far in.
Wong hits it into right, into the corner. Game over. Wong wins it in the 9th. The Cardinals played small ball early. They played long ball late. Home runs by Taveras in the 7th, Adams in the 8th, and the rookie Kolten Wong in the 9th. Cardinals win at 5-4. Series is tied at a game of